Tonight, what local festival received not one but 5 awards?
And where Washington State University students are helping conduct COVID tests.
Good evening, I'm Humayun
Public
Khurram.
Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Humayun Khurram.
And I'm Alex Viviano. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
The Palouse first snowstorm of the season made for icy streets and power losses, but it didn't stop the Moscow Farmers Market. According to Community Events Manager Amanda Argona, city crews swept the streets early Saturday morning. In preparation, in the end, only 12 vendors were able to brave the cold and make it to the market.
The annual Haunted Palouse is canceled this year due to COVID-19. The event would have featured spooky buildings and hay rides that attract large local crowds. According to the Haunted Palouse's chairwoman Nicole Flansburgh, the volunteers decided that the health risks were just too great.
The Palouse Food Pantry will distribute food for residents of the 99161 zip code from 1 to 2 p.m. and 4:30 to 6 p.m. Wednesday at Palouse Calvary Chapel. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the food pantry asks that everyone who plans to pick up food to pre-order by calling the pantry. Pre-orders must be placed no later than noon for the 1 to 2 p.m. pickup window and no later than 2 p.m. for the 4:30 to 6 p.m. pickup window. The pantry serves Palouse residents in need of supplemental food.
The 2018 National Lentil Festival in Pullman received 5 awards at the 2020 Washington Festivals and Events Association conference this past week. The festival was awarded first place awards for Best Promotional Poster, Radio Program, Sponsorship in Partnership, and Public Relations Media, along with Best in Show for Overall Advertising and Public Relations Campaign.
The Jordan Schnitzer Museum of Art at Washington State University will host educator and curator Namita Gupta Wiggers, who will present the talk Teaching Through Talking Now. Betty Speeves Ceramics reveals historic shifts in art education on Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. via Zoom. Wiggers will discuss an important pivot in arts education in the 1930s and 40s. The live streamed talk will be followed by a question and answer session. For more information and access to Zoom link for the presentation, visit the website.
WSU nursing students are part of a team testing Yakima residents for COVID-19. The WSU Nursing College partnered with Medical Teams International, a faith-based organization, to create 2 groups of 11 volunteers to alternating stays at the clinic. Operations began in late September. Yakima was chosen for the site because it was a hotspot for COVID during the summer, which includes strikes and walkouts by farm and warehouse workers who were hit disproportionately hard by the pandemic. Testing is free and results come between 3 and 5 days after the test.
For the upcoming football season, WSU has taken a stance on not letting viewers into the games. Cameron Limes is currently out reporting live from Martin Stadium. Cameron, what can we expect this year?
Thank you so much, HK. So I'm currently standing outside right next to the Cub and Martin Stadium. Now, if you can't hear them, the football team is training right down there. That's right. The football season is right around the corner. Now, WSU has recently made an announcement that they'll be allowing no spectators whatsoever near the stadium during the games. That means from vantage points like this one, where I can clearly see, or right over there, these areas will be barred off to help stop the spread of the coronavirus. Another popular spot that will be closed is the Cub. Now, a lot of people hang out here during games to stay warm, to make sure that everything's going fine. But this will also be closed to make sure no viewers whatsoever are around. It'll be completely closed on game day. Now, moving off a little bit, parking lots and tailgaters will no longer be allowed on campus at all. That means that if an RV or mobile home is seen on campus, they'll be turned around and head right back to where they came from, because they are no longer allowed here. Another thing, totally off campus completely, parties will now be completely canceled. If police are on game nights, they'll be headed out doing extra patrols during those evenings to make sure that students or anybody is not celebrating the game preemptively, and to make sure that we are completely staying safe and stopping the spread of the coronavirus. With Murrow News 8, I'm Cameron Limes. Back to you guys at the desk.
New COVID-19 grading system does not eliminate the need to take prereqs. Faculty's Senate voted to reject a change in the rules when students drop courses. If approved, a student who already had a grade in a course would have needed the instructor's approval to drop the class. Deborah Handy, Associate Clinical Professor in the Department of Human Development, said the class would not show up on the student's record. It also would not allow them to progress to a higher level class.
Services activities fees will be reduced by $25 for the spring semester. The Services Activities Fee Committee met with students on Tuesday and Thursday last week to hear feedback on S&A fees for the 2020 spring semester. Many students say that they do not want to pay for recreation and transportation because they're not on campus and unable to use the services provided by the S&A fee. The fees were reduced from $279 to $254 from spring semester. However, these fees are not permanent and will go back to $279 after spring semester.
Yet to come, how early votes are exceeding records.
And why a man was arrested in Boston in connection with a fire. We'll be right back. With 8 days until the 2020 general election, more ballots have already been cast earlier than all of 2016, including absentee ballots in person voting open in Florida, Texas, and other large states across the country. The total is now at 58.6 million ballots cast in advance of the November 3rd election. Boston police and the FBI announced that they have arrested a 39-year-old Boston resident for allegedly igniting a fire inside of a ballot box drop-off location located outside the Boston Public Library over the weekend. Worley Armand, pictured here, is expected to be arraigned in Boston. Municipal Court of the charge of willful and malicious burning. Armand was seen on a security camera around 4 in the morning doing what appears to be lighting a fire within the ballot box. He was taken into custody just before 11 p.m. Sunday night when officers identified him from the security camera footage. So Pullman experienced some chilling lows this weekend. We have Ariel Yakabazi at the weather wall to tell us more about what to expect in the next few days. Ariel?
That's right, Alex. Pullman did experience some really chilly weather this weekend with lows in the teens, but we're going to head into some warmer weather later this week, and I'm about to tell you about it. All right, so today we're looking at, let me look at my sheet here. We're going to head into tomorrow, actually, with a high of 44 and a low of 27, so it's a little bit warmer than today, which is actually really nice, and we're heading into some warmer trends. And we're having some 7-mile-an-hour winds, but that shouldn't be too bad. It might make things a little bit cooler, so watch out for that. Heading into the state map, we're looking over in Seattle and Olympia. They're experiencing some warmer weather than we are, with highs in the 50s and lows in the 30s, with sunny weather across the board, so they're lucky there. And we're heading into the middle of the state in Yakima and the Tri-Cities, with highs in the 40s and lows in 19 and 21. For those of you in Yakima, or those of you who are heading over to Yakima, we're looking at a air stagnation advisory, which is when an air mass over the area is keeping some chemicals in. So don't light anything up. Yeah, so heading into the 5cast, we're looking at today and tomorrow. It's going to be mostly sunny, and then we're heading into some warmer trends into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with highs in the 50s. We get up to 57 on Thursday, so that's going to be very nice. That's all I've got for you guys. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Ariel. When we return, what local football team is headed to state this season?
We'll be right back.
They took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. Dad! You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now.
AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Welcome back. I'm Andrew Bartline with your sports. After 4 decades, former Washington State standout lineman and head coach Paul Wolf gets more answers in the mystery of his mother's disappearance. Investigators today believe Dolores Wolf was a Jane Doe whose remains were found in a neighboring California county in 1979. A recent DNA swab obtained from Paul Wolf made them match. Wolf's father, Carl, was arrested and charged decades ago, though he was never tried. The case was dismissed on a lack of evidence. Paul Wolf was hired by WSU in 2007 and later asked by the Spokesman Review for comment if he thinks his father was involved. Wolf said, quote, "I do. It's tough. There was no closure. That's the toughest piece," end quote. Carl Wolf passed away in 2005. Paul, now an offensive line coach at Cal Poly. And the Cougs seem to be no closer to naming their starting quarterback than they were a month ago. Jaden DeLora, Cameron Cooper, Gunnar Cruz. After some weekend scrimmages, they're all in the mix somewhere.
Not good. Not good enough. We got a long way to go in 2 weeks. That's my opinion. I think we need to look at ourselves on the offensive side of the ball in the staff room and see what we can execute at a high level and what we can't. We just got to be honest about ourselves.
Washington State opens their season November 7th at Oregon State. And the Seahawks take their first loss of 2020, a 37-34 overtime tilt at Arizona. It looked all too easy for Russell Wilson and the Hawks early, but the defense failed to put pressure on Kyler Murray. Wilson needing to play near perfect through a costly overtime pick, setting up place kicker Zane Gonzalez to ice that contest. Seattle still leads the NFC West, hosting lowly division foe San Francisco next Sunday at 1:25 p.m. on Fox. And yet to come, a special way for you to celebrate the fall season today.
We'll be right back.
It's okay to be scared. You don't have to be so strong.
Strength is not optional. This is my mother, my purpose. Real muscle is lifting her spirits between bedpans and bad news from doctors that doubt her strength. Strength is buried in bills, managing meds, and swallowing those moments of, "Mom, it's me, your daughter." Remember? My strength is super, but I'm still human, right?
Look who's here. There she is. Thanks for your patience.
How you feel?
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community, or call 1-877-333-5885.
Today is National Pumpkin Day.
All right, have you been any pumpkin patches here in Pullman?
Thanks for watching. If you missed anything in this or any of our previous newscasts, you can always watch us on our YouTube channel.
For past news, more news can be found on nwpb.org/MurrowNews8. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night.